Tension exploded on the Cowboys sideline in a moment fans can't stop replaying. Cameras caught Brian Schottenheimer unleashing a furious outburst toward Dak Prescott, shouting words that instantly set social media on fire. The exchange raised serious questions about chemistry, leadership, and whether cracks are forming inside the offense at the worst possible time. Was it heat of the moment coaching or a sign of deeper frustration boiling over? One thing's clear, this meltdown has everyone talking, and the fallout could linger well beyond this game. Meltdown. Absolute chaos inside the Cowboys building today because multiple league sources are now saying Brian Schottenheimer completely lost ID on Dak Prescott during a closed-door offensive meeting, and the words he used are sending shockwaves through the NFL. We're talking raised voices, slammed tablets, coaches stepping in, and one sentence that has already become infamous around the league: "You're killing my offense." That's not clickbait. That's not exaggeration. That's what Schottenheimer reportedly screamed directly at Dak Prescott, the franchise quarterback, the highest-paid player in the locker room, and the face of the Dallas Cowboys. And before you say this is normal football stuff, no, this wasn't normal. This wasn't heated motivation. This was frustration boiling over after months of tension, miscommunication, and an offense that simply has not looked right. According to insiders, this exchange happened after film review, when Schottenheimer repeatedly paused tape showing misreads, late throws, and checks at the line that completely changed the play design. One assistant reportedly tried to move the meeting forward, but Schottenheimer wasn't having it. He wanted answers. He wanted accountability. And he wanted Dak to understand one thing very clearly: the offense he designed is not the offense being run on the field. Multiple players described the room as dead silent afterward. No clapping. No joking. No music. Just awkward tension and players avoiding eye contact as Dak sat back in his chair, arms crossed, jaw tight, saying very little. That alone tells you how serious this moment was. Because Dak Prescott is known as a leader, a communicator, a guy who usually de-escalates situations. But this time? He didn't fire back. He didn't argue. He didn't explain. And that silence might be even louder than shouting. Now let's talk about why this matters so much. Brian Schottenheimer isn't just some random assistant. He is the offensive coordinator. His future in Dallas depends on this offense working. His play calling, his system, his reputation, all of it is tied directly to Dak Prescott executing what's drawn up. And from Schottenheimer's point of view, the quarterback is freelancing too much. Changing protections. Checking out of concepts. Holding the ball too long. Forcing throws that aren't part of the progression. And when those plays fail, who gets blamed? The coordinator. Not the quarterback. Sources close to the situation say Schottenheimer feels like he's being set up to fail. That the public criticism falls on the scheme, while privately he believes Dak is ignoring key coaching points. And that frustration finally exploded. One source described it as months of bottled-up anger that came out all at once. Another said that was the moment you realized this partnership might be broken. And let's be clear, this isn't just about one argument. This is about power. Because in Dallas, Dak Prescott has enormous influence. Jerry Jones loves him. The locker room respects him. The organization has invested everything into him. So when an offensive coordinator challenges him this directly, it's a massive statement. It's basically saying, either you run my offense, or this thing is going to collapse. Now here's where it gets even crazier. Just hours after this incident leaked, reporters noticed something unusual at practice. Schottenheimer was far more hands-on with the quarterbacks. Extra drills. Longer conversations. Repeating terminology. And Dak? He looked noticeably quieter than usual. Less smiling. Less talking. More walking alone between reps. That doesn't mean there's a feud, but it absolutely means something shifted. Players have already started taking sides quietly. Some veterans believe Dak should have more freedom, that his experience gives him the right to change plays. Others believe the offense looks disjointed because everyone isn't on the same page. One offensive lineman reportedly said, We don't know what play we're really running until the snap. That's a huge red flag. And here's the part Cowboys fans really need to hear. This exact type of tension has destroyed teams before. When coordinators and quarterbacks stop trusting each other, the offense becomes predictable, hesitant, and broken. You get slow starts, missed opportunities, red zone failures. Sound familiar? Because we've been seeing all of that. The scary thing is this isn't just a football issue, it's a culture issue. Because if Schottenheimer is publicly blamed and privately ignored, he's gone. And if Dak feels disrespected or undermined, that relationship doesn't recover easily. Especially not in Dallas, where everything is magnified by national media and nonstop pressure. And speaking of pressure, Jerry Jones is watching all of this very closely. Sources say Jerry was informed of the confrontation within an hour. Not the details, but the tone. And when Jerry Jones gets involved, things change fast. Historically, Jerry sides with his franchise quarterback. But he also hates dysfunction. He hates leaks. And he hates losing narratives. There are already whispers around the league that if this offense doesn't improve quickly, Schottenheimer could be quietly replaced, reassigned, or stripped of play-calling duties. And if that happens, make no mistake, Dak Prescott wins that power struggle. But at what cost? Another coordinator. Another system. Another reset. Another year wasted. Here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. Dak Prescott is at a crossroads. Not because he's bad, but because expectations are massive, and excuses are running out. He's no longer the young underdog. He's the veteran leader. And with that comes responsibility to make the system work, not just survive it. At the same time, Schottenheimer also has to adapt. You can't run an offense in today's NFL without trusting your quarterback's instincts. The great coordinators build around their QB strengths, not just their playbook. So this isn't black and white. Both sides have blame. Both sides have ego. And both sides are under immense pressure. What happens next will tell us everything about the 2026 Cowboys. Either this confrontation becomes a turning point where honesty leads to adjustment, clarity, and better football, or it becomes the crack that splits the season wide open. Because unresolved tension doesn't disappear. It grows. It leaks. It explodes again. And Cowboys fans? You should be paying attention. Because moments like this don't stay behind closed doors for long. They show up on Sundays. In misreads. In sideline body language. In late game collapses. And if you think this is just drama, remember this: championship teams don't scream at each other like this unless something is deeply wrong. So now I want to hear from you. Do you side with Schottenheimer, saying Dak needs to run the offense as designed? Or do you side with Dak, believing a veteran QB deserves freedom at the line? Drop your take in the comments. If you're a Cowboys fan, this matters more than any headline today. Make sure you like this video, subscribe for daily Cowboys news, and turn on notifications because this situation is far from over. More leaks are coming. More tension is building. And what happens next could change everything in Dallas.